王秋儿，投降吧！你想死在我们兄妹手上不成？
我不会投降的。
The tournament will end chaotically, not as everyone expected. The situation on the continent will become incredibly complicated. The finals have been postponed. The teams that were supposed to compete in the finals missed their match. What happened? And why will the Continental Masters tournament end this way? Currently, Team Shrek is battling the Imperial Sun and Moon Academy. This is a group match, one of the most crucial battles in the tournament. It will determine who advances to the quarterfinals and who gets eliminated. Everything depends on Wang Qiu'er, the strongest member of her team. But can she withstand the combined power of the Hongqian siblings? In the original, Wang Qiu'er defeated Meng Hongqian in the singles matches and even killed one of the participants. To recover her strength, she performed an unprecedented phenomenon, simultaneously absorbing the energy of 2 milk bottles. Not even most titled Douluo are capable of this. As a result, she was prepared to unleash her full potential. Her most powerful attack even left a mark on the shield of the judge, an unyielding titled Douluo. This indicated that her spear surpassed the defense of his shield, a weapon stronger than a 9th-class soul tool. In the group match, Wang Qiu'er displayed unparalleled strength and power. However, Shrek's victory was also thanks to Huo Yuhao. But how could he help if he was technically part of another team? Xiao Hongqian already possessed 7 soul rings. For the first time in tournament history, there was a rank 70 participant. Even in Shrek Academy's history, there had never been a 20-year-old master with 7 rings. Yet Xiao Hongqian achieved this feat only he knew the price he paid for it. For the next 5 years, his cultivation would stagnate. He made this sacrifice to reach this level before the tournament began. It was hard to say how far he could have progressed otherwise. Nonetheless, he had no regrets. Xiao Hongqian aimed to defeat all his opponents and reach the pinnacle of the tournament. This was a major threat to Shrek Academy. But what was even more terrifying was his fusion with his sister, Meng Hongqian. Together, one with 7 rings and the other with 6, their combined power was unimaginable. But Wang Qiu'er prevailed, with help from Huo Yuhao. He not only assisted Wang Qiu'er but also cared about Shrek's glory, which belonged to both his and her teams. Everyone believed the Hongqian siblings were invincible, given their combined power of 13 rings. Yet Wang Qiu'er proved her dominance. What no one knew was that Wang Qiu'er was using a special soul fusion skill with Huo Yuhao. This was the Destiny Dragon Roar. Yes, Huo Yuhao and Wang Qiu'er had a fusion skill, although this wasn't shown in the anime. When the 2 fusion skills clashed, an explosion occurred, reaching almost titled Douluo levels. Who emerged victorious? Wang Qiu'er's golden figure stood proudly at the center of the stage. She was slightly injured but looked like a Valkyrie, a goddess of war. Regardless of what anyone said, Wang Qiu'er impressed with her raw power and dominance. The Hongqian siblings were left in a dire state, their bodies twisted, and it was unclear whether they were alive or dead. The rest of the Sun and Moon team immediately surrendered. The judge declared Team Shrek the winner. But how did Huo Yuhao manage this feat? It was simple. Huo Yuhao transformed into a set of armor and entrusted everything to Wang Qiu'er, who controlled their fusion skill. The key was his use of his spiritual imitation to conceal his involvement. He created the illusion that he was still with his own team in the viewing area, while physically, he was fusing with Wang Qiu'er. Was this unfair? Yes. But as Huo Yuhao thought, so what? What does it matter if it's unfair when I do it for Shrek's glory? Is it fair that the Sun and Moon Empire team uses high-level soul tools crafted by the most skilled mechanics? In this world, there is no absolute fairness. Thus, Team Shrek, with Huo Yuhao secretly aiding Wang Qiu'er, won the match. Only Jing Hongqian noticed something strange and intervened, suspecting foul play. He pointed out that Wang Qiu'er's fusion skill was remarkably similar to the one used by Huo Yuhao and Wang Donger. However, Wang Donger stepped in and claimed that Wang Qiu'er was her sister, which explained their similar skills. With this explanation, Jing Hongqian dropped his suspicions. Yes, in the original, the tournament was incredibly captivating and full of twists. But how did it happen that the finals never took place? After defeating the Imperial team, there was still an intriguing match between the Tang sect and Shrek Academy. Huo Yuhao decided in advance that they would not interfere with their fellow academy members and would concede the match. This was still during the group stages, and both teams would advance regardless. However, we are in for a surprise. A showdown between Wang Donger and Wang Qiu'er. This is a battle worth watching. The Golden Dragon Spear versus the Clear Sky Hammer. Two offensive weapons. Which will prevail? This rivalry between the two girls stemmed from their desire to prove their strength. In the original, the relationship between Huo Yuhao and Wang Qiu'er was explored in more depth. It was clear that, alongside Wang Donger, Wang Qiu'er also loved Huo Yuhao. This often made Wang Donger jealous. That's why, in this battle, she wanted to prove her strength was no less than Wang Qiu'er's. Later, the Tang sect faced its most formidable enemy, the Holy Spirit sect of evil soul masters. Fortunately, Huo Yuhao's incredible abilities and a new skill led to victory. So, which teams were supposed to face off in the finals? Who were your predictions for the final showdown? It was supposed to be Shrek Academy versus the Tang sect. This match would have been the most spectacular final in history. Shrek's 7 monsters against other Shrek students. But the finals never happened. This was due to the cunning plans of the Sun and Moon Empire, specifically Crown Prince Su Tianran. This tournament was a trap, meticulously designed to serve his goals. It was meant to be a death trap for all young masters of the continent who had gathered here, marking the start of a war. What was the Sun and Moon Empire's plan? Fortunately, Huo Yuhao uncovered it in time and prevented disaster. Before the semi-finals, the Radiant City, the capital, was sealed off. The Sun and Moon Empire stationed several legions of soul engineers to establish a defensive line with advanced masters. Their goal was to hold the defense. Any teams that left earlier were stopped. However, strangely, they didn't seal off the entire city. Only 3 sides were blocked, leaving the western side open. In other words, no one would have escaped the capital alive. But Huo Yuhao orchestrated something that delayed even the war. The semi-final matchups were as follows. The Heavenly Dragon Sect versus Shrek Academy and the Tang Sect versus the Holy Spirit Sect. These 2 semi-final matches had plenty to discuss. Which dragon-type martial spirit was stronger? The Blue Lightning Dragon or Wang Qiu'er's Golden Dragon? And of course, there was much speculation about the match against the Evil Soul Masters. Additionally, we would see 2 more ranked 70 participants besides Xiao Hongqian. This promises to be interesting. Thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments which match you're most excited to see. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and see you next time.